Hello and welcome to the stream, everyone. And today we will be continuing on our tool, which is almost completed already. And the only thing that we need to fix today is actually the functionality for mobile devices, right? And there are key issues that we have run into. And yesterday, when I was actually working on tool, the last stream, I was actually got very demo. I was very demotivated because the way I coded my app, the same function which is user types, which actually handles all the stuff related to user typing and checking if the user typed correct or wrong letter, was not working for mobile. Why? Because we were heavily dependent on the uh, event object which is attached to every callback function on an event listener. And the thing is, on touch screens, the virtual keyboard doesn't provide any useful information to the event object. So our event.key property wasn't working, right? Let me show you in the code. The user types function right here, as you can see, we are heavily dependent on this event object. We are getting the right here, we get the user letter event.key, and then you can see we check event.key if it's equal to space, and then we compare it with our current active letter and stuff like that. So basically, this function was not working at all for our mobile devices, right? And I got demotivated. I thought, well, I can't make it work anymore, and I'm gonna just abandon the project. But I was wrong. I came back today, and I think I have a solution. And the idea is, the idea is to mimic the event object, right? So inside our code, this is the on-click function. This is what handles the logic. This function, this event listener, is what will eventually handle the typing logic on mobile devices. And the way things are working right now, we listen for an on-click object and we remove the focus from current active element, which is words container. Then we grab our hidden mobile input and focus on it. So what is the purpose of this code, right? The purpose of this code is actually to bring the keyboard, the user keyboard, right? Because in order to enable the virtual keyboard on a touch device, we need to have a user input, which is done via focusing on a input element. It can be any input element. So this is what we are doing in that function. And in the same function, give me a second. And in the same function, we will be mimicking the event object. How we will do that? I'm gonna display the mobile input that we have right now. Okay, and inside our browser, this is the input, right? Let me turn this into a mobile. Okay, now we have a mobile device. And notice one thing. When the user will click on the div, the words container, it will focus inside our input. And if user types anything, it will go into that input, right? So the idea is that every time user types in the input, we want to mimic the event object and pass the mimicked event object to the user types function, and our code will run, right? I mean, there must be many other ways to do this, but this is the one I actually want to do right now. I don't know why, but I just want to do this way for now, and because I think I won't need to code more logic for to handle user typing and stuff. So how this will work, right? Idea is when starting, like by default, the input will have one character. Okay, never mind. Just forget about it. Just look at the input for now. So every time user types a press a key on his virtual keyboard, the input will be added to this input tag, right? That key pressed like this. And the idea is to grab the input every time user types and make a mimicked event object, and which will have a key property, and we will push this the key user typed which we grabbed from the input to the that mimicked event object, make event object, and we will pass the event object to the user types. But there is one problem, right? Because what about the backspace? How do we know, for example, if user clicks on the div, the we, we focus on the input, the keyboard appears, and they hit backspace, right? If enter a few keys, they enter backspace. How will we detect that, right? Because we can detect if user, like if user typed something into the input, we can detect that, right? Because we will know, we can check the dot value property of the input and see what user typed, and we will have a way to identify that user typed something. But for backspace there is nothing. That's why initially I want to have a key, like a sort of random character inside our input object, which can be like at symbol, at the rate of symbol. And why will do that? So for example, if user clicks on the word ziv and the user input focuses on the input, and if user hits backspace, our input will be blank. That will give us an indication that user hit backspace. And for every other key, for example, if user has to type capital S, they type capital S, right? And we can simply grab the input and ignore the first character and grab the other value, right? And that way we will be able to grab normal input and backspace, right? And another edge case was that we will I was worried that what about the invalid keys like shift, and what about them? The virtual keyboard just doesn't have those. Okay, so we are safe. Those keys will never be pressed. So let's head to our code and start coding this. Inside our on click, and actually we need a on change event on our mobile input. Let's do that right here. Okay, I'm gonna declare this mobile input on the top of the program right here. I'm gonna comment hidden mobile, sorry, input to detect the user input on mobile on virtual keyboards. And here we will say grabbing user typed key on touch screens slash virtual keyboards. And let's attach a file input dot on change, right? Let me, the time right now is actually 8:34 a.m., but I'm not having breakfast. This is actually dinner. I'm gonna sleep after the stream. Hmm. Okay, so inside our on change function, we want a we want to mimic the event object. So we will create a event object, and by default the key will be null. Then we will grab the input, and we can do that by user input mobile input dot value. Then we need to ignore the first character, which is the at the rate of symbol, right? Okay, actually, every time user clicks on the on click, I want to add mobile input dot value. I want to set it to ampersands, not ampersand, at the rate of symbol. And now we need to cut the string like the first character. We don't want the first character for, so we want the in one index to the everything else. And let's see how we can do that. Cut strings in JavaScript slice. Okay. One more thing that I want to mention is that initially the input will have the at the rate of symbol, but every time every time user types a key, we want to reset the input because we only want to grab one character at a time. We don't want to do this. For example, user can type these like this, and then we grab the input and then we mimic the event. Our user types function works only for one character at a time. So the, that's why we need to reset the input every time user types something. So after user types something, after we grab the value, we will set mobile input dot value to be at, which is we are basically resetting the input. Okay. Now I'm gonna add a comment here. Okay, reset the input, and then I'm gonna add a comment, and we will say handle backspace. Right? Oh, my bad. So how do we handle backspace? So the way we handle backspace if our mobile input dot value is empty, because user will hit backspace, right? User will hit enter backspace and our input will be empty, right? So if user input is equal to nothing, like empty string, then we will, okay, let me do a strictly typed comparison. Then we will run the backspace function, and do we need to pass something to the backspace function? Let me look. It needs event, but I don't think we even need the event object inside it. Yeah, we don't need it. So we will run the backspace function and return. Otherwise, handle any other input. How do we do that? We run the user types function, right? Okay, I forgot to do one thing, that was we need to say event dot key is equal to user input, and then we will run the user types function with this mimicked event. and I don't have a spare mobile device to test it. So give me a second. Let me see if I can find a spare mobile device. So I don't have to turn off my camera in order to test. I found a spare device. It's not really spare because I have to return it actually. Actually, we need to use what was that tool called? Ngrok? Ngrok? I don't know the pronunciation. It's Ngrok. My bad. So it is Ngrok. Okay, I forgot one thing that when we pass the input, the mic working. Yeah. When we pass the input to our event, like when we set the event key to user input, we need to say dot slice. Well, not really dot slice because we can just say grab the one index because we will be only getting one character at a time. So we will ignore the zeroth index, which is ampersand, and we will get the one index. And let's log few values, right? I'm gonna say mobile input. Okay, mobile. Sorry, mobile input, not mobile input, user input. And then we need event object, and let's see what do they look like. Okay, so it's not working because it should work. Dot on change. First of all, the value is not resetting. Our function does not reset. Okay, it ran here, and event object is mimicking, but okay, let me try again. We focus on the input. We type s. After we typed s, the input should have resetted, but it did not reset. That means what does that mean? Okay, it did reset. What the hell? Okay, let's try again. S D, what is going on? Mobile input dot on change. Okay, let me check if the function is even running. Mobile input on change. Reload. Okay, it's not even running for some reason. Think maybe it is because we haven't set any type on it. Maybe, could be. Okay, what the hell? Going on? Going on? Need this by the way. Let's just say right here value is equal to ampersand. This is weird. Okay, now it's resetting. Now our function is running as well. Is it running? On change. I don't see the console log. Okay. Start countdown and what is going on? This is weird. Hmm. Let me test it on mobile. And for that we need to run the ngrok tool. And that was inside downloads, I suppose. Ngrok. Here it is. And we need to run it with okay. Maybe this will work. Okay, we need to say ngrok. How did we use it last time? Hmm. ngrok dot exe http 80. We need to run it inside our. We need to go to our CD. Where it is. I don't even remember where my repository is located. Okay, now we have our repository. Let's say CD. Okay, let's run the tool now. Oh, now the tool is not there. Perfect. Let's copy that as well to our. Oh no. Inside our coding C type 2. It's right here inside our source function. And then let's add it to git ignore. We don't want any exe files there, right? I suppose it's already added. Okay. Ignore and rock.exe. We can say in rock.exe. Okay, that worked. And now let's run it. I think we can run it right here inside our terminal. We'll need to cd source up and ngrok.exe http 80. God damn it, what the hell? Okay, now it worked. Let's say http 80 and we have our domain. This should work. Oh, what going on? What is going on here? What? It's saying local network engineers. Was- What am I doing wrong here? Let's look at the ngrok documentation. Okay, now I'll need to log in. Hmm. Hmm. Why is it not working? Why is the link so weird? Okay, now we have the real. Oh, damn it. Okay, I'm gonna open this link in my mobile device. Now, what is this? Oh, my bad. We need to we need to give it the local server URL, which is where it is, which is right this. We need to give it the port, which is 5500, and now hopefully this work this time. Yeah, it worked. Thing is going on with my mobile device. With my stream, is my stream working? It is working. So need to type in the URL, which is Oh man, this is a long URL. Something's weird going on with this mobile that I have. Fucking work, dude. Okay, now it's working. So 4793 hyphen 59 hyphen 3 hyphen 216 hyphen 202 dot eu dot ngrock dot io dash source work, dude. Come on. Oh man, what the hell is wrong with this device? अच्छा. So hi, I fucked up. I fucked up. Fucking hell. The audio was off. Fucking bummer, dude. Okay, so the issue now is that on the first run the test is fine, but after that, like if I hit reset and I hit any key, the test immediately exits. Let's look at our set interval. Okay, we're setting the display UI here and we're showing the results. And on timer finished, we are setting display UI as well. So what is wrong here? When the test is finished, okay, this is wrong. This button is not supposed to display results, only the reset. So yeah, we basically fucked our function. Oh, sorry for the effort. Man, I'm really sorry, guys. Bad habit, I'm trying to fix it. And this reset button should not actually show results. So I think I thought I was fixing the function, but I was actually destroying it basically. I'm gonna copy this code and I'm gonna sorry, we will be going up back into the time and right start. Okay, let's see now. Okay, display UI, and now if I say restart, nothing happens, which is the correct behavior. Okay, now it is behaving correctly, but I have a restart test. Okay, my stream almost crashed. Hello. Okay, so now that what was I been doing? So yeah, now what is it that we're trying to fix? Okay, I remembered now. After the results div appears, becomes visible, and we hit this button, we want to disable this time finished, and so inside our restart test, we can check if test is there, if the results div is there. If it is, we will hide it, right? And we can do that by selecting it first of all, which is right, which is the results container. So Let's check if results container dot class list dot add dot class list dot contains. If it contains the hidden class, that means the results are not there. And we can continue with our function, but if the class is there, like, sorry, what I meant to say that if the results container is hidden basically, that means we just need to do what we are doing here, right? So we'll pass that here, and otherwise, and we will return it, and otherwise we will hide the results container. Class list dot remove, and let's hide it. But okay, if I do that, it did not work. Oh, results container, it doesn't have the hidden class. That means our function, this should execute results container or class list dot. Okay, we needed to add the class, not remove it. Now if we hit, okay, this is working. I think we need to use the display UI function. And I forgot what I actually really did here. I did not even add any comments. So first of all, I want to grab these variables that I created. And right here, we will use these variables instead of directly getting them, the elements. And time container. This looks better. Okay, so display UI. We want to run the display UI function, and we need to pass the show results as false. I think I should have made a separate function for show results. And if show result is false, that means we just want to update the words. But let's add here that if show result is false, we want to toggle the class, want to toggle the hidden class on our words container. And for time container, I want to make it invisible, not display none. Now let's see how it looks. Now on reset, okay. So we did not run the function actually in our yes. Now it should work, and it does. But we also need to toggle the class from time container, and that is invisible class. Now it should work. Let's see. Yep, it does. No, this is a problem. What happened right here? So what happened here? Clicked on restart test, and the results container.class list had a hidden class. Wait, what? Give me a second. Let's check the console and see what the active element is. This body. Okay, so let's try again. And the results container has hidden class. True. Why did it hide the words container? Hmm. Let's check the display UI. We're basically saying words container. So this is the part of code that will, and I think we just need to remove the hidden class, not toggle it. And let's try now. And now it works fine. Yep, now it is functioning properly. Let's add a comment on this function. The UI. What is the purpose of this function? The purpose of this function is to display results or normal words container depending on the show results parameter. Okay, this comment doesn't really help much, but I think it's a good pointer for myself because I do want to refactor the code. Okay, what is else that we need to do? I'm just gonna quickly check it again on mobile and see if it's working properly. Yeah, just give me a second. Okay, I'm just gonna check it on my mobile device and see it's functioning properly, which it should. And it does seem to be working fine. I'm gonna try the reload button and see what it does. Okay, that works too. But the cursor is on in the wrong place. It's weird. Okay, let's try this here. What's happening? Maybe it's happening on smaller screens. So if I'm running a test, let's try again. If I'm running a test, come on. As you can see, the test has started. And if I hit reload, and now it's working fine for some reason. It's weird. Okay, now let's wait for the test to finish. And let's hit this button and it works fine. Okay, it seems to be working fine on mobile now. And weird. There are some issues actually. The cursor doesn't appear. The cursor doesn't appear. We're having this issue right now too in front of us. The cursor is not there. So if we wait for the test to finish and hit reload, the cursor doesn't appear, which means we need to remove the hidden class from the cursor. Let's look inside our HTML. This is the cursor and there's hidden class on it. That means right here inside our reset folder, restart test, where we remove the class list. Let's make a new variable and call it cursor. And let's okay, wait, what is going on here? Class list dot remove hidden. Now it should work fine. Let's see. Test finishes and we hit reload and cursor appears as well. It works same for desktop devices. Yep, works fine. uh, one more thing that I want to do is what happened just here. Why is words per minute 16? It's zero now. Let's do this. Inside our display UI, we want to see if actually let's do it inside calculate WPM, and we want to check if net WPM is less than zero. If it is less than zero, then we want to set it to zero. And this way we won't have a negative WPM in our tool, which also doesn't make sense. You can't really have a negative words per minute speed. And let's hide the input. And now the input is not here. And let's change the time back to the correct one. Okay, everything seems to be working fine. And if I hit restart test, okay, now the cursor is not updated. The heck? Okay, what do we need to do actually right now? I do a restart test. Where is restart test? Right here, we're running the display UI function. And inside here, we update the cursor after updating the words, which seems to be fine. And update words is correct too. We're setting the state right here. So the update cursor inside update UI should get the updated value of the current letter. Then why is it like one line above the... Let's try again. Works fine like this. But it doesn't work fine actually when we restart the test after results has been shown to the user. Could be the case. Restart. So basically right here we, after hiding the results container, we up, we make the times container visible, and then we remove the class list, then we remove the class of hidden from cursor. Then we run the display UI, and display UI, this part of the code runs, and we update words, and we update cursor. Seems to be should work fine. It is not. Eh, what is going on? I need to reduce the time back to something like 10 seconds in order to debug. It works fine like this. Okay, something weird happened. And we did not update the words. Now we update the words. Now it works fine. Now let's try after the results appear. So now if we click on the restart button, this part of the code is gonna run, which is, sorry, yep, no, actually this part of the, wait, give me a second. So if we click on restart test now, our restart test checks if result container has a hidden class, right? And it doesn't. That means this code will run, and we remove the class, we hide the results container, and we show the time container, and we show the cursor div. Then we run the display UI, and that seems to be not working. The issue here, the cursor should update, man. What the hell? Okay, now it updated fine. What? Like undefined behavior that we're getting. And we hit the restart, and cursor works fine now. I don't know what I did that fixed it. Let's show the results. Okay, works fine. Think that's it then. Now let's fix the time, and I want to add a theme builder, sorry, theme changer, or maybe just at least dark and bright mode. By default, okay. So let's at least do this. I want to change the color of the span elements. Uh, right here, inside our tailwind. Okay, not inside our tailwind, but inside our update words. function. And right here, we are setting class list to add duration to 100 transition colors. Oh, we did not. Okay, okay, we have the text. We have the color on like the parent. It inherits from the parent, and we can change that. This is the verse container. So this should have the. Where is it? Wait, what is going on? Okay, it's on the word. So back inside our JavaScript right here. And what I want to do is I want to change this to our secondary color, and we need the opacity like at 0 0.1, and this is what I want actually. Or maybe let's increase it a little, like 20. Yep, this, I think this is better. And the reason I think this is better because it will fit if we change like the theme. For example, if we want to change the theme, right? We can just give a user a button and they can change the accent color. Let me show you what I mean. Right here, you can see the word. We have this color secondary, right? And we can change it to red, right? So let's change it to red. Or maybe let's change it to green and see what happens. So for red channel 0, for green channel 255, and for blue channel 0. As you can see, the theme kind of changed, right? So that's what I'm trying to achieve. And maybe we can also give them option to change like the primary color. Maybe let's change it to something like white. So for red channel, 255, 255, 255, and now it's white. But it doesn't fit well really. Actually, okay, let's change this color dark to white. It did not affect much, like it only affected like this thing and nothing really else. Let's just give a accent button, like a one button that will change like this yellow to the color user chooses. And we can do that by right alongside our GitHub in our header. This is the GitHub icon, SVG here. Let's make a button. Wait, a GitHub that. Okay, so this is the logo, and this is the GitHub, and this will be another button with class of width 12 maybe. How much is it? It's 48 pixels. Works fine for us. Let's change the GitHub to width 12 as well. And now I'm gonna give it a ID of color changer, right? And okay, my bad. Let's change it to input. Input color. right? And name would be color, ID would be color changer, right? And we can attach a on change. We can attach a on change function called change accent color, or let's just call it change theme for now. And pass in the event object. Let's scroll down right inside, right here. Let's say change theme function attached to color input in the header, and the function will be const, not const, this is normal function, and change theme event. And let's log event dot target dot value. This way we can get the color value of the input. Let's look at it. Look at it. Okay, we're getting the value in hexadecimal, which is not good. Okay, so it's not giving value on change actually. It only gives us value if the user clicks like something here. Let's check color change, color input on change. So the input only, it only gives us input like if the user clicks, the user loses focus. It's weird. Or if they press enter. Hmm. How do we fix this? Let's look at it. That's okay, so the change fires when the user dismisses the color picker, and input is fired every time user changes the color, and that is what we want. So let's change it to on input. Let's try now. Yep, is exactly what we want. And the input is in hexadecimal format, and we need the decimal format for each channel, and we will get that by, let's grab a function to convert hexadecimal. to decimal in JavaScript. Your number to string and then pass int. What is going on here? I would like to understand what can you handle like bit fields or 32-bit clean sign numbers. JavaScript function to string 16 will return a negative decimal number in which so your number to string and then we pass. Let's read about to string. Then let's look at the number of prototype or to string. So this function converts a decimal to the hexadecimal value. So integer in the range 2 through 36, specifying the base to use for representing the number value defaults to 10. Okay, right. So we're just passing the base. So we can pass 10 if we want to convert the string to a hexadecimal string to like a, what was I saying? We can basically pass base of the number system that we want the number converted to. Okay, so yes. So we can use this to convert basically a number to another base system, or from one base system to another base system, in the range of 2 to 36. And for bases above 10, the A through F letters are used, which is like base 16 hexadecimal. So let's get this and try this. I definitely don't understand like perfectly, but I have like a vague idea of what it does. And let's log it. Hex string, and we need the event or target dot value. Let's see. It did nothing. Event.target.value to string 16. Wait, this is converting to hexadecimal. We want to invert the process. So we say parseInt, parse this string as an integer with a base 16. And wait a second. Also, first of all, we want to store the value like color in a event.target.value. Now I'm gonna grab the RGB, like I'm gonna say color. Okay, let's just say let R will be color dot splice 0 to 1. Okay, I need slice, not splice. Yeah, let me just confirm if I'm doing it correctly. So if we say slice 4 through 19, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is exactly what. Is it this index inclusive or exclusive? So okay, so the index end is exclusive. So the index of the first character to exclude from the return string. Okay, let's just try here and let's say R, and then we need G color dot slice. We need 2 to the 3. Actually, it also has like this hat symbol in. So we need actually 1 to 2 and 3 to 4, and let B will be color dot slice 5 to 6. Okay, let's log all of this. R G B. Let's see. Okay, R is 7, G is 6, B is 6, which is weird. 7. Okay, R is 7, G is 6, and makes sense. We need to say 1 to 3 and 3 to 5 and 5 to 7. Now we have the correct values: 9b, 5b, 5b. So the index end is exclusive. That's why we were getting the wrong result. And now that we have hex, let's rename these hex R, xg, and xb. So these are red channel, green channel, blue channel. Now we need to convert them to decimal. So in order to do that, let's say let's deck or parse int. Give me a second. Parse int. We did not actually try this function. Let's do that. And hex string parsing, we will be parsing actually hex r. Let's try this. R is not defined. R is not defined. X R X G X B. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so hex R returns 80 is 128, which is, I think, I'm not sure. Let's check it. I want to confirm it. This is converting. Okay, this is converting properly, correctly. And now that we have hex R, hex G, hex B, we need uh, let decar, which will be parse int hex R 16, right? And copy this. This will be deck G and this will be deck B. Now let's make a new variable called, now we need to join them. So I will name it primary color, sorry, accent color, and decor. Okay, let's make a string literal. Decor space deck G, sorry, space deck B. Okay, now let's log this value and see the results. Parent is not parent is not a function. Okay, this was parse int. Where do have going on here? Why are all the values same? Did I do wrong? Okay, look. It should be hex G and this should be hex B. And now we have correct values and now we can update our variable. How do we do that? Let's see. Update CSS variables with JavaScript. Okay, I want to check if our variables are set on root or some other class. Okay, it is on root and we need color secondary. So let's look at the example right here where it is. We can get it by saying root dot style dot property. All right. Read this. And we don't need event listener and this either. Okay, we need to update secondary color and we need the value we will set it to is accent color. And let's log accent. Okay, we are already logging accent color, so that is fine. And now a matter of, oh, didn't work. Let's see if we're updating the root as the color variable. Come on, this is not what I wanted to do. And right here, let's see now what is going on. We are updating it. Okay, I updated the wrong variable. It is called color secondary. And there we go. It works. I mean, not the prettiest thing, but there is some functionality, right? And now let's move this both of these inside a div. Okay, let's add few comments, right? Uh, Get RGB channels of hexadecimal color. Then convert hexadecimal RGB channels into decimal RGB channels. Update the CSS variable in order to change colors. I think this will do. And now let's add some final touches, which is I'm gonna move both of these inside a div. This GitHub icon. Okay, let's add few classes, which will be where it is right here. Let's add a flex class, and let's say items. Enter. Yep, and gap of 1.5 RAM. Okay, this did not work. What's going on? Yep, now it worked. And this color input, let's do something about this, right? Let's add a label here, right? And label, how does label works? I think we need to give name attribute to be the ID of the input that we want to associate this label with, and we can move the input inside our label. Okay, did not work for some reason. It could be okay. Okay, now it works. And this label, we can actually hide the input, right? And instead, this label will have a class. We will make it, we'll give it width of 50 pixels, which is the same as our GitHub button of 12, width 12. And let's grab a icon. I want a color picker icon. And that is what is going on. Okay, so I want something colorful. So let's just say color. and something like this, but round. Oh, only one page. Okay, now we have more pages. Okay, we can use this. And this vector, we can copy this SVG. Okay, now we need a PNG actually, something like this, or maybe something like this, but more colorful. Is perfect. And let's download SVG vector, and I'm gonna call it colors. Place it inside our project, right? And now we will use the after element. First, let's call it relative, and then use after. We can say content. Okay, this may not be what I want. Let's look at the after property in CSS, Tailwind CSS. Okay, first of all, we need a content attribute. Is what I was trying to confirm. Can be actually an empty string. Can we do this? Lol. I don't think. Yeah. Yep. And now we can make after an absolute. Then we can say top should be 0 pixels, and bottom should be 0. Left should be 0, and right should be 0. And then we will set its background to be okay. How do we set the background image in Tailwind CSS? Okay, background image linear gradient is not what I want. I think we can just say bg url. Wait, no, something is off here. I'm not sure. So bg url. Something is off here. Let's see. Okay, this is our input and broken. Probably because of this. Okay, instead of just let's just give it top 0 and left 0. Then say width will be full, height will be full. Now it should be of still not full height, and I think maybe let's give it display block. Oh no, sorry, block. What's going on here? Here is the after element, and top is 0, left is 0, and everything else doesn't seems to be working. Okay, what is this? Width, the same properties as width 12. Okay, we need to give it this to width full. Now it should have full height and width. Come on, dude. Let's add some content here and see. Okay, it's still not full width and height for some reason. Is that because of class with 12 and something is wrong here? Okay, it was wrong. Now after it has some width and height. Now we just need to set the background image to the one we downloaded. Like we can use the arbitrary value and add it like this. After bg brackets url bracket close, and then images slash colors.svg. Okay, it did not work. After doesn't have any background image. Okay, we don't have the image for some reason. Images, where did I place it? Not what I'm trying to do. Okay, hide our images folder. There you go. And come on, should be there now. Okay, now it's there, but it's still not going in the UI. Could it be because of cache? Nope. Does SVG work in background? Okay, why is it not appearing? Okay, right here, background image URL. It should work, dude. What is going on? Background size, cover. Okay, this is what we needed. Background, cover. And let's give it level of width and height of 12. Now it think this is fine. But instead of cover, let's say contain. I think it will look better. Let's remove the content back to empty strings. This looks really weird, by the way. Both have width and SVG ones looks a bit smaller because it has some padding, I guess. Let's make this a little smaller as well. I'm gonna instead give it like 45 pixels and height 45 pixels as well. A little bit smaller. And now it is perfect. And let's add pointer events cursor pointer. So when we hover on it, we'll see this. I want to add an animation on it, and let's say animate roll. Okay, let's look at the tailwind. Keep closing their website. It's not good. Animate mission and animate spin. It is. Hope it works. Okay, did not. Maybe we're doing something wrong in the config. Yep, we need to extend the animation. Okay, what happened here? So Tailwind says animate blink last does not exist. That's okay because okay, extend is right here and okay, why is animate blink or animate spin is not here for some reason? Okay, it is now working. Lol. And I want to like on hover it should animate spin. And now see, oops, looks very nice. Okay, let's add a transition as well. Transition all and let's see. Okay, it moves back like it snaps back to its original position. How do I fix that? Could be the reason here. I'm not really like very good with animations or anything, so I'm kind of lost here as to why it is not working. Mm, Let's see. Element node snaps back to original position after animation. Okay, not Blender, JavaScript, CSS. Okay, maybe animate forwards might work for us. Let's look at the properties. Okay, forwards. How do we set animation forward? Add animation forward property in Java on tailwind CSS. So if we set the animation forward, the element will not snap back to its original position. Okay, I think the property might be fill mode of animation fill mode tailwind pieces. Hmm. Okay, how do we add animation? I think we need to extend it like this. Yep, let's do this. Ztype.pages.dev config, we need to say animation and pin forwards. And we need to say spin forwards. Okay, I don't know if that will work. We did not use the new property that we, new animation that we created. No, it doesn't even work. So Okay, so spin 1 second linear infinite forwards. Okay, didn't work. Animation fill mode forwards. But we are setting the forwards. I think we are. Yep, we need to use the forwards. Plus, okay, fingers crossed. Oh, did not work. Maybe it has something to do with the hover state. Maybe instead of like constant animation, let's make it like we don't want it to be infinite animation. Uh, you know what? Let's just forget about the animation. I don't want to deal with it. But one thing I would like to do is change the icon. I don't like it really. So let's say color wheel SVG. And this is something I can use. Something like a soft icon. Might do. Okay, we can get a base 64 image. Let's try this. And inside our background, we can say, oh, there's a lot of. Okay, what did I do wrong? Okay, okay, okay. We only need this part. Okay, work now. It did not work. And remove this. And this. I think it will work now. Yep, now we have our icon. It doesn't look much different than the previous one, but that's okay. If we change the color, color, our theme changes, right? Which is, I think it's epic. So, hmm, that one. Okay, I think I just spotted a bug here. I'm gonna wait for the test to finish. That was just my imagination and it is working fine. Okay, not really fine. The cursor thing is still an issue, but ah, it's okay. Not a big issue. I'm gonna roll with this. So I think this is it. The tool is complete and our this series of stream ends with this stream. Okay. I'm very sad actually. Yeah, I might just cry right now. Alright then. Yeah, bye bye.